Hello everybody, welcome back. So I suppose, it's only fair to do an EOS update. Not that I have anything really, very important to say about this. The whole EOS journey, the whole EOS thing that we've been doing here was based upon a single trade. I mean, I've had two entries. I had one entry which is in this accumulation zone and another entry after this dump, only because we had the conversion baseline cross on the weeklies to suggest a long-term continuation of an uptrend. So I mean, it is definitely working out very well at the moment. Definitely. I mean, I'm very happy with the way it's going. But we all know what EOS does. It pumps and it dumps, and for me, that's okay. I'm prepared to deal with that, because overall, this is all about a single trade. With, I suppose, a bit of a top-up, and we're just going to allow for this chart to carry on. And remember, I've said it many times, I said what we're looking to see is a mirror image of this chart, not just this chart, this is just the Binance chart, this is why I have this a vertical trend line. It's just to show you that these are the steps, this is the turning point, and essentially this is the mirror. The only difference is that this took 3 years, basically, and this will take just short of a year, so it will actually do a full reversal, probably by around 20, early 2022, and when I'm talking reversal, I am actually talking all-time highs. So back down here when I was talking about this, and I was saying EOS is probably going to get to we'll say 24, which is roughly the all-time high, maybe 40. It's at this stage now where those sort of targets start to become more realistic. Now, back down here, I've always had a lot of people talk, say stuff, oh, EOS is a scam, EOS is this, EOS is that. Look, for me, when it comes to fundamentals, that it definitely helps to have good fundamentals, but really it's all about the chart. And the EOS, love it or hate it, the volume's always been high. You know what I mean? It's always been high. It's available on every platform. It's even on Bybit. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those coins which is extremely accessible and highly liquid, and it's always been that way, and it's going to probably continue to be that way. So that out the way, I suppose we all want to know, where are we going from here? So we've already overshot my target of $10 and $10.39. I've already overshot that. So now what we're looking to do is probably do one of two things: completely launch all the way up to this target, which is $14.50, which is where these candle body tops are over here. That is possible, and possibly even further than that. Or have a decent retrace, and I'm talking decent. I'm talking an actually pretty decent retrace. Now, the way that this has worked in the past, we pump up to resistance, break down, break above resistance, turn the previous resistance to support. So there is always that chance that all the way up here can get a full retrace back down to here in the form of a giant dump. Now, these dumps have taken place with market dumps, and if you think about it, you think, well, that's not possible for us to come back down here. That is a 43% retrace, and this could be potentially a 42% retrace. So it would be in keeping for its behavior to perform that way, but it doesn't necessarily have to happen. Just because that's the previous behavior doesn't mean that it has to perform that way. It just has done that 2 times in a row. Now, the last thing we're going to show you, because I don't want to sound like a broken record, because we do, I did make an EOS video 3 or 4 days ago now, and so I don't want to be going in too much detail about all the sort of things that I normally would talk about, which is very basic and simple. I've just recapped it. EOS buy down here, wait for it to go up, 2022 new all-time high. But one thing I just wanted to show you as well, this is EOS's longer chart. So this is EOS's all-time high, $23.60. And if we do a fib retracement from the tip all the way down to the full retracement zone, all the way down here to actually $1.40, we can see that just coming up at the top of the 5. Sorry, the 0.5, we're more or less getting our rejection there. It doesn't mean that we can't overshoot. This is where things really do get interesting as well, breaking above and staying into the what's known as, I suppose, the golden pocket. All of these levels can really start to get knocked down quite quickly. However, we are at a significant zone here with the fib retracement. But the interesting thing I wanted to show you is that when we look at the fib extensions, where would this take us to the absolute top? Well, it could potentially take us up to $92, almost $93, just based on the fib extensions. And I don't want you to hold on to that, thinking that that is definitely the way it's going to go, but it's a realistic outcome if you think about the way it's performing this early. I mean, I suppose it's not too early, but it is doing better than I thought, faster than it thought than I thought, and so we do, at least we've got some of these zones now to mark off as potential areas. So obviously this looks like a bit of a zone right now, but between 12 and 14. But each one of these is a very significant zone to take out, and actually quite plausible. So I am definitely going to put on my on my thumbnail for this video, EOS to $92, just for a bit of clickbait. I'm not saying it's going to get there. I'm just saying it is now becoming more of a feasible target, and I'm not saying it's definitely going to do it. I mean, it's going well. The plan is working to plan. And for those who think I'm just some crazy person jumping on the bandwagon to try and get views because EOS is pumping, that's not the case. I was making videos when EOS was extremely unpopular, all the way back down here, and this is just this is just one part, another part, I suppose, of that EOS journey. I don't make these videos to make calls, for instance. I mean, they are my trades. These are my trades. This was my trade. Holochain was my trade. There's many trades that I do, and they obviously work out. And I'm documenting them through YouTube. I'm not one of these mad moon boys that calls for ridiculous things for the sake of views. I mean, you don't get much money on there. YouTube. I do have adverts on there, but I mean, it's if I wanted to make money out of YouTube, I would just say ridiculous things all day and completely sell out. But that's not the case. So all I'm doing is documenting my own trades, and explaining the method behind the madness. And this one's basically working out so far so good. Again, there's a long way to go, and like I say, a potential retrace all the way back down to here, so be prepared for that. It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. And again, if it does happen, I'm prepared for it. I am almost expecting it. It doesn't mean it necessarily has to happen, but it does feel like it's relatively, not likely, but it's not unlikely, let's say that. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there, but tomorrow's Friday night. We do have the live stream for Patreon users, so you can throw all those charts at me. And if you're not a member already, £7.50 a month, and you get 2 live streams a week, which amounts to essentially 16 hours a month of live streams. And we just look at many altcoins. Usually the live streams go on for about 2 hours. They kind of overrun a little bit these days because I've got so many members joining up. But £7.50 a month, can't really complain. There's also some tutorial style videos on the Patreon for you to look at. Anyway, have a nice day, and congratulations to those who are in EOS, and for those who aren't, don't worry, there will be more opportunity, but just do not consider FOMOing into a giant wick like this. That's never the case. Always plan your trade in advance, and if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So it's tempting to FOMO, obviously, but try and resist that temptation and get in at a relatively good area. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a nice evening. Take it easy.